Yo! Video games.
What up, dudes, and welcome back to the YoVideogames podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Andrew.
And once again, thank you to all our generous patrons who kept us going for over 500 episodes.
Yeah, if you're interested in becoming a patron at any level, please check out patreon.com/YoVideogames podcast. Dude of the week is Josh.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Josh.
It is a
Appreciate you.
busy week. We are in the Tokyo Game Show week. We decided to hold off because both Sony and Microsoft both had their TGS, basically TGS.
Back to back, yeah.
Back to back. Sega had a sort of TGS. The thing was like I literally was at Sega's offices this week. I could say that. And like, yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, should have led with the direct, because they had an RGG summit, and then that was immediately followed by RGG direct, and it's like it was so reverse of what they should have done, because the direct was, here's the announcement, here's this new product, here's the features of the new product. But the RGG summit was an hour and a half interview with the voice actors on stage, and it's like, well, why did you wait to talk about the game and everything in it till an hour and a half after? It was so backwards, especially if you're an American.
Wait, was the summit at TGS?
Kind of, yes. I mean, it was in Japan.
Right. I mean, but it wasn't
was
like
on a stage. There were press there. It's
at
TGS.
At TGS. Oh, okay.
I mean, is it in the exact hall on their booth? I don't know. Looked like it. Could have been. It was the day before TGS opened its doors. Press were there. I don't know if it was there. It looked like a TGS stage.
Interesting.
So it is like, it's so close. It is so much what I mean. It is so much what it is that it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if this was weirdly they set up a stage booth in their headquarters in the studio and had press come in and pretend it was a TGS. It doesn't matter. It was a TGS presentation.
Yeah, I just wonder if they fucked with the order because of TGS. Like they did it.
Well, I mean, it literally happened within a 2-hour span, the day before
that's true.
TGS started. So it was like, it was still just this like, what a weird way of Japan.
The only presentation that I have watched the complete presentation for is Sony. The Xbox thing happened at an odd hour for us, and I'm not going to stay up for it. I wasn't going to stay up for it. So I've read the highlights of that stuff. Got to be honest, not a ton in the Xbox stuff that really jazzed me up. The Suda 51 thing, Hotel Barcelona, pretty cool. But like,
yeah, that looks great. Ninja Gaiden 4 looked fantastic. They actually have a bunch of different difficulty options and stuff. It's Ninja Gaiden 4 is looking real good.
Yeah, but it's like we already knew that. I don't know that.
There was no surprises. They were like, "Hey, Forza Horizon 6 was announced. It's going to be in Japan." It's like, this is. I don't know if this was leaked, but everyone knew this.
Yeah,
for months. So it was kind of like, okay,
no one was on the fence, is what I mean about Ninja Gaiden 4. Like, no one was. This didn't seal the deal for anybody. Like, everybody knows that shit's gonna be great. The Sony state of play, interesting to me, because there was several things that I thought was really good. It looks like maybe a Disco Elysium follow-up. Is it the same?
Yeah, well, it's the same developer, but the creative staff parted ways after Disco Elysium.
Really?
So you are not getting the writing and creative leads for this one that you got on the last one.
It clearly feels like a follow-up, though.
Oh, for sure. They're 100% taking the look, style, gameplay design of. I couldn't remember the name of the game. I'm like, is this a sequel to that communist RPG? Like, that's all I can remember is Disco Elysium. It's the communist RPG. And I don't say that because a joke. That's literally what they call it. Like the original devs were like, it's a communist RPG.
Yeah, I mean that looks sort of interesting. If you liked Disco Elysium, I sort of petered out on it. Like, I thought the writing was really clever, and I thought a lot of the scenarios was good, but the gameplay, I didn't really stick with all that much.
Mhm.
You know, I've restarted it a couple times. I don't know if that just makes me sound old. Just restarting a point and click.
Well,
Um,
it's one of those things where when you tell me, like you say, you tell me, in a conversation, you could describe the game to me, and it sounds kind of awesome. I look at the game and I'm like, this is so ugly, like intentionally, like it's a very grimy, dirty, ugly game,
yeah,
like it's supposed to be. And part of me is like, oh man, I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could handle that
I
for that many hours.
no, like the visuals great, the writing great. It was just like the slow pace of the point and click
Mhm.
lost me after a few hours.
Yeah,
Um,
I love the title. I think the title is really fucking
Disco
cool.
Elysium or No Parades.
Yeah,
Zero Parades. That's
zero
right.
parades for dead spies.
Right.
I was like,
No, it's great.
oh
Like truly, Disco Elysium is great. I know it's great. I peter out on it after a while. What I got to do is like I just have to write down notes or something so that I can come back to it every
yeah.
now and then and keep
I
going
mean,
with it.
it's just sort of an unfortunate thing because you're not going to get the same writers from Disco Elysium. It's not going to be the same creative team.
Yeah, did they
So
have like a falling out
they did.
or
They had a sort of a bitter falling out
ooh,
um, after
ooh,
Disco Elysium. So
no socialized profits, I'm guessing.
something like that. I actually think it is to that effect. I think it is like there was dispute over distribution of wealth. Ironically.
Yee. Write us a communist game. Great. We're all communists and we'll write you your communist game. Okay, great. I'm a capitalist. Ooh.
I'm a capitalist, so I'm
Oh.
taking all the money.
Hmm. Really, really well, I mean, that capitalist was just being inspiration for them, you know?
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this one will turn out. Will
Um,
I play it? Absolutely not. Um,
Probably gonna
but
end up playing it even though I know that, like, because I don't know. We'll see. Uh,
well, it's got to be curious if you like Disco Elysium. You got to be at
yeah.
least curious with this one.
I'm super curious about it. But the number one game that I'm super curious about, and I wasn't before this presentation, is Sorrows.
Stars look good.
It did look good. And then
Stars look good.
also, it's got clear connections or at least references to one of my favorite cosmic horrors, The King in Yellow.
Ah,
Um, I mean, Carcosa is where the cloud waves break and shit, and they've got the King in Yellow. I mean, they didn't call him that, but it's very
yeah,
clearly looks
like
like
the
the
guy
King in
like
Yellow.
covering
Yeah.
his.
And it's like for those of you that want like a quick, I mean, even the Wikipedia of the story is interesting. You can just like pop in there and read it, but I think you can find the full because it's from the 1830s or 18.
Oh God, is it really that old?
No, maybe it's 1890s, but it's you can find it anywhere online. It's basically people getting driven mad by a play called The King in Yellow. And people become convinced, it's short stories of like people becoming convinced that they are the King in Yellow and like going slowly mad and like killing people out of jealousy or to like attain power. And it's crazy. But in part of it, there's a really great poem about Dim Carcosa. So granted,
I
I
mean,
think in
that's
the
the
book
name of the planet.
yeah, in the book, Carcosa is a city that is on a different planet, and people have visions of it. Um, Actually, it might be a different short story that references. I can't remember if Carcosa is in The King in Yellow or if it's been a while since I've read it, but it's basically like Dim Carcosa is a dead city that sits on like a sort of like a lakefront of clouds.
Hmm.
It's sort of like a floating. I don't know. It's great. Although I think Carcosa spelt with two S's in that instead of just one for the. But this is clearly referencing. I mean, it's clear. It's cosmic horror. Returnal was cosmic horror too, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know. I'm pretty intrigued by that. And then of course Wolverine. Who who isn't going to be down for Wolverine?
Yeah, Wolverine. Again, once again, we're an Aussie is stealing,
Yeah.
what should be a Canadian's role, which I just thought was hilarious.
Well, I mean, there has to be someone from like Alberta or Ottawa that could do it. Yeah.
But
Some
also,
farm boy
once
that's got
again,
the build.
Wolverine is nowhere near as short or as hairy as he probably should be.
He looked short.
He looked, I mean,
He looked
shorter
like
than Hugh.
5'6".
He looked shorter than Hugh Jackman, but he's not a little stubby, hairy man at 5'3" that
I
he's
mean, he's
supposed to
short.
be.
He's definitely shorter than all the people he's fighting.
Is he? I don't know. There was, and then there was like stuff with the mocap where he's like standing above someone talking to them because he's just physically taller than whoever he's talking to, and whatever actor. So I was just kind of like, yeah, I don't know. We
Gotta
ever
keep him
go
down.
like, I mean, 30, 40 years ago, Tom Cruise maybe could have nailed this when I had to give him like Les Grossman hairy arms or something. But
He would have done it. He could do it today. Physicality wise, I mean, he's still got it.
he'd be old man Logan.
You know, one of these episodes, I'm gonna find the single clip that I have of our Wolverine assist me that
Hell yeah.
survived. The one where we make the big short joke.
Yeah.
I have that clip and I'm just going to play it because it still makes me laugh. Basically, I'm going to describe it for you listening and watching. Doom gets into a fight with Wolverine, and at one point, Wolverine has him pinned to the wall, and then Max interrupts it, and Doom stands up, and you find out that Wolverine is basically like crotch height. It's just, but the whole scene, and we shot. It's one of the better fight scenes we've ever shot. It's not as good as the Batman one, but it's one of the better ones where like it really does seem like you guys are the same height for a lot of it, and then all of a sudden, just this reveal, and it's very, very good. And I'm blanking on the actor's name, but he did great. The one problem we had is he thought that the shoot was canceled, so he cut off. He had long hair and had grown it out for the shoot, and then styled it into Wolverine's hair. And then Max had to cancel or something, or it seemed like it was going to get canceled, so he cut his hair off. And then we rescheduled the shoot, and so he had no hair. But anyway, great clip. Sorry that you guys will never get to see it. It's gone forever. Sort of like the Morgan episode, and what was the other episode that was?
It was Morgan. There was like a Sea Viper interlude thing.
Sea Viper interlude. Yeah, that's right. There's great stuff that season. All gone forever. Goodbye.
I made everyone really uncomfortable with my Morgan joke in that episode.
With the cum sitting on.
It was toaster strudel.
Yeah, but come on, like we knew what you were referencing. There's a scene where Wesker and Morgan and maybe Sea Viper, but it's Wesker and Morgan disappear, and there's like a tentacle, like hentai tentacle thing happens.
Because Morgan has like tentacles that come out in one of her supers, and Wesker being Ouroboros man, they make a joke of like, oh, let me go research this, let me check it out. So they go upstairs or whatever, and then you hear some weird noises, and then they walk down the stairs, and then like Wesker's got this big giant glob of toaster strudel paste
just on the corner of his mouth.
Yeah, like on the side of his mouth, like on his cheek. And then like Max is like, Wesker, you got a little something there. And then Wesker goes, what? And like he wipes his finger on the toaster strudel frosting and looks to go, oh. And then he just he just eats it. And then everyone like Doom and Max like, oh, like what? It's like, what? It's toaster strudel. Like, yeah, we were having toaster strudel upstairs. Like, and that was the gag, was that like you thought it was like this you thought it was something else, play it off as something else, but it was like, no, they just went upstairs and they were eating toaster strudels and talking about monster shit or whatever.
We were shooting that, and I remember how uncomfortable Max was with the whole thing, and we had to work him up to doing the takes.
Nobody liked it. Nobody liked it. Nobody was happy with it. Mike wasn't even happy with the joke.
He did
like it, and he's usually good about anything. But Mike didn't want to have this implication that like, oh, he was gonna have some stuff on his mouth, and he scoops it up with his finger, looks at it, and goes, oh, and then just eats it because it's toaster strudel frosting. But no, nobody was happy with that joke. Like, I crossed the line, apparently.
It was definitely flirting with the line, at least.
I didn't think it was that bad. It's only bad. It's only bad if you got a dirty mind.
Obviously, we got to talk about the most important thing that got shown at the State of Play, and it's that Sony is finally getting Microsoft Flight Sim.
I thought that was really weird and funny how they're like at this long trailer for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 coming December 2025.
the thing is that Microsoft Flight Sim is confusingly popular.
Yes.
Like people love it. And it's apparently you can learn to fly doing Microsoft Flight Sim. Like you can
Yeah,
practice.
there's like legitimacy to it.
Yeah, it's actually like really good. But it's just funny to me that like Sony put that long of a trailer for Flight Sim. Crazy
Well,
to me.
because they're never going to do anything like that. So it's like Gran Turismo of planes, and they're never going to do anything like that. So
The only other thing that was
them getting it is just
laughably
kind of like, check it out, guys. Like we have the last sort of exclusive thing Microsoft ever had.
the only thing that was more laughably long of a presentation was for the speakers.
Yeah.
This
Yeah, the
is like,
speakers was like, "What the hell? Oh my god, who gives a shit?"
well,
Like, you can adjust the speakers to your setting, and it's like you tilt them over. I'm like, "Wow."
and it's got noise canceling microphone. Look, we talked about this some for next week's episode, which we had initially recorded earlier this week. Uh, Sony's not doing too hot, like Sony, the broader thing. And this
Yeah.
is clearly like, we'll get them to buy some speakers. We got lots of speakers, and Sony does make good speakers, but
At least
like,
with the God of War controller, it was like 10 seconds long. Like, God of War controller, bruh, here's what it is. It looks like this.
this was like
Good
a
night.
2.5 hour hype video. No,
Yeah,
it was only like 2 or 3 minutes,
which
but
is,
it's so
oh my
long.
god, they have speakers and they have headphones, and I'm sure they'll have a microphone next. They have a portable, play PS5 on the shitter thing, and they have VR,
Vibrating
which
butt
they don't
plug.
care about.
They're leaving money on the table. If they had a vibrating butt plug to
Like,
play
it's almost
haptic
weird
feedback butt
because
plug,
exactly, right? Res 2, let's go.
you want to get scared.
Well, because remember
Welcome to the family, son.
The original Res vibrator was really kind of more tailor made towards just one side of the human equation. But a butt plug that
Equal
vibrated in
opportunity.
rhythm, anyone can sit on a butt plug and have it vibrate and loosen some stuff up or whatever.
There are
Like,
some people too stupid to use a butt plug, and that's unfortunate
I
because
don't know
they
how
will.
I mean, what do you mean too stupid? I mean,
You said anyone can use them, but there are people that are too stupid.
take the thing, you stick it up the butt. You stick it up the wrong way, whatever, it still works.
They stick it all the way up there. They're at the ER explaining why they didn't read the
I mean,
directions of
there's
a butt
ER
plug.
stories about stuff.
There always is. There's literally nothing that you can bring up that hasn't been to the ER.
Yeah.
People
I
with
don't know.
cats in their asses.
Sounds like a great time.
So we should talk about the one thing that is the most ridiculous from Xbox's thing, which is the ROG Ally X and Ally.
Which,
Their
yeah,
naming conventions are still so stupid. I can't get over it. The the ROG Xbox Ally X and the
I don't know
ROG
where the ROG
Xbox
part
Ally.
goes, but the ROG Xbox Ally X, like, because they have the Ally exists, and then there's an Ally X, which is like a premium, the pro model of the Ally. And then they
Right.
decided they're going to do Xbox Ally, Xbox Ally. I don't know why they have two different models of them.
Well, they don't want
The
you to forget that it's an Xbox console.
Sure, I mean, but the Xbox branded version of them has those handles, right? So they have like they have it's almost like a little handle around the screen because the regular Ally doesn't have handles. It looks like a Steam Deck.
Yeah.
For everyone watching the video, this is a ROG Ally X. There's no handles. You just hold it like a Steam Deck. It's plenty comfortable. It's plenty fine.
Yeah.
You can play all your Xbox games on Xbox PC games, I should say. The PC Xbox apps on here. This is just a Windows 11 based PC. Yeah, nothing. There's nothing to add to that. It is a Windows 11 PC. That's all this is. And is it as powerful as the Xbox Ally X? No, that is a little beefier, a little more tailored. But we're splitting hairs at this point.
And I mean, how are you going to know that it's an Xbox product unless they write Xbox on it?
Yeah, because that one has an Xbox button on it. My Ally X does not have an Xbox button, nor does it have the handles. So,
Well, you want people to remember the Xbox symbol? The one that's
right.
never changed? The Xbox
Yeah.
symbol? No. You got to have Xbox Ally X, and it's got to be on the box, and it's got to be written on the console. It's the dumbest.
I don't know. It's just a
What if
strange
people forget
thing.
it's Xbox?
I think it's a really weird time to be pumping out a specific, a specific Xbox branded portable PC, right? Because, and I almost don't even know why we're doing this. Like, why have two different versions? Why have, you know, um, why have an Xbox Ally and an Xbox Ally X? Like,
One
why
has a
have
higher profit margin.
right? Well, probably, but it's like it's so to me, it's just like, well, just sell one. I don't know why you needed two. I don't even know why you needed the. I don't know why you needed them at all because the Ally X is already expensive and it already exists and it already runs Windows 11 and it already will play all your Xbox stuff on it, or PC Xbox stuff and Steam and whatever. You can run anything on the darn thing. It's a great little portable PC, but I don't know why we're doing another two different variants of it. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. Why not just push what you already have, which is better, way better than a Steam Deck already, like on a powerhouse level.
Well, I'm confused as to like what does a success rate look like for this? Like, is this something that was planned and was being executed before the option of the ROG Ally X existed? Like,
Hmm.
because once the Ally X was out or the ROG Ally X was out, like, yeah, I don't know where their unique selling proposition is or whatever. The like what how is there someone that has $1,000 to spend
Right.
that has been waiting on the sidelines purely for Xbox branding?
Right. It's a weird thing because
Is it
the
going to have
point
its
of an
own OS or
ally,
is it's
yeah,
Windows 11?
it's Windows 11.
Yeah. So
The point of an ally, especially an Ally X, is play every game. Like, because Steam Deck has issues with a lot of games, especially higher end ones. And the whole point of like the Ally X was like we could play you, maybe not, obviously not max settings, but you can play every video game. Like,
yeah.
granted, like give or take, you can play every video game in your Steam library. That's the point of the Ally X, and it pretty much hits that. Liza P runs amazing on the thing, by the way. Just want to point that out. So you can play every game, more or less on the Ally X. Why bother doing a whole new set of models? A year later, and then the Xbox version will be just a little bit better, obviously, than what was currently the 700 or 800, whatever. I don't know what an LIX costs. Whatever that is, why jump it to $1,000? Again, it's like you say, what is the market for this? Like, how big is the market for this? I don't think it is that big, not at that price.
No, and I mean, again, you said this earlier when we were recording. Costco dropped Xbox, so clearly they're not getting sales of Xbox. So the Xbox like community or market is shrinking.
Yeah.
So what's the I yeah, I don't know. I have a hard time seeing this being like a smashing success, which is a
I
bummer.
mean, I can't imagine they expect
Well, I want to
millions
be
and
clear. I'm not
millions of
rooting
sales.
for its failure. I don't see the path on it. Maybe it will
Well,
be. Maybe
I don't
it'll
see the path on PlayStation VR too either. To be
oh,
honest.
well, no, but also I personally don't like VR, so I didn't want it to take over.
I think the weirder thing to me is the PlayStation Portal. That thing is sold very well, apparently. So maybe that,
Makes total sense.
again, maybe that's where all their metrics are coming from. Is that like you had the Switch and it did super super well, and you had the PlayStation Portal and it's like the best selling accessory like month after month after month after
Well, that
month.
was like $300, right?
Yeah, it's really expensive, and for literally a fucking screen that has to connect to Wi-Fi to stream your console, that make sure your console's on and running, and then it's literally connecting to the internet, and then you're just like, remote playing your console, and that thing sold a bunch. So they're probably thinking like, okay, but what if we gave you an actual portable system?
Oh, see,
That
but the USP of the Portal, I understand. It makes sense. You don't have to stop playing your console game to go take a shit.
Yeah, but I mean,
You
it
don't
didn't
have
do
to.
shit. That was the Wii U's sort of selling point. It didn't do
Yeah, but
anything
the
for
Wii
that
U didn't.
system.
But the Wii U didn't let you play the full game on the tablet
Yeah, it
wherever
did,
you
as
were.
long as you're in range,
Well, the
which wasn't
range
very
was
good.
really bad then.
Which wasn't
Yeah,
very good, but
because
it
not once
could.
did I ever get that to work.
Wasn't good, but it was there.
Oh, you want to keep playing a little bit, but you're all getting into bed. Okay, you're getting into bed. You can turn off your console from the portal. Like it. The selling point of the portal actually oddly makes more sense than a new Xbox branded ROG Ally.
Maybe, but I also think it's still way too much money for what the portal is. Like I think that's like
Yes.
ridiculously expensive
No,
for
that
like
is
a
insane.
little bit of convenience.
It is sort of crazy, yeah. Especially because can't you also do basically that on your phone?
Yes.
Like they have the app or whatever that you
I
can.
don't know if Xbox does it, but I don't know if Sony does it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the point is like oddly enough, the portal has a better selling, like selling point than the Xbox Ally X. And I know there's gonna be somebody like we know. Yes, there are super fans for Xbox who are gonna get this thing no matter. And I'm not even trying to discourage you from getting it. I actually like if you really have been holding out for specifically the Xbox branded ROG Ally because it's gonna or ROG Ally X because it's gonna be, bigger, beefier, the best handheld. I hate calling them handheld, the lap
It's a
held
portable
gaming.
PC.
Is it though?
Yes.
What are
Oh,
you gonna throw it in and where are you gonna are you gonna take it to the beach? Like what are you you're gonna take it camping, I guess?
it's a portable PC. You can operate it.
Just get a gaming laptop.
No, I mean this is much smaller than a laptop and definitely easier to carry around than a laptop.
I guess. It's still a
I mean it is.
beefy.
I have an Asus laptop and I have an Ally X, and the Ally X is definitely way more convenient than a laptop.
Laptop can also do way more though. So,
If you have a new laptop,
well, I mean, yeah, what okay, we're gonna
'cause
compare
again,
a
like
10-year-old gaming laptop to a brand new.
what an Ally X can do and can run is pretty much on par with most gaming laptops.
But so my point though is that, like if you're waiting on the sidelines specifically for the Xbox branded one and you get it, all right, you'll be happy, I imagine. I don't
Well,
I
it also the other thing too is they didn't. This wasn't like an Xbox Ally hyper focused event. It was like a few minutes of the Xbox presentation. It wasn't
right.
like this isn't their entire focus entirely was on just this. It's just it they just brought it up again,
Yeah,
for a few minutes where it's like yeah, and we have this thing and you can play and it's weird because all the times they bring it up, they've never committed to just sitting down and being like, well, it's going to cost this much. Like we know from a Best Buy listing right now that it costs $1,000 for the high end model. So
they didn't officially say. I thought I saw a
no,
graphic where they officially
no,
said it.
not at the TGS presentation. No,
Interesting.
because again, they didn't actually focus that long on the thing. It was more just like, yeah, this thing exists and you can play your games anywhere. It's like the
You'll
same.
definitely want to buy it.
It's the same elevator pitch they've been doing from the start with it. So it's a weird. It feels like a weird, desperate like drawing straw, desperate pull to like, yeah, maybe this is where we should go. And it's like I don't know. It's like they're
Well, I mean,
grasping.
one thing that I think is very interesting is say the Sony State of Play showed that early next year, first quarter next year is at least going to have games. There's going to be a slate of games, next year. The Microsoft one, maybe just because I only watched the trailers going down like a list of trailers and stuff. It didn't feel like it had as much coming in the early next year.
Yeah, I don't know because again, where is Fable?
Yeah, right. There's
Um,
a bunch of stuff that's been hanging and we haven't heard anything about in a
yeah,
while.
and Fable is another weird one. I mean, sorry, like where's Fable? Where's Horizon? Because Horizon had like, oh, this is gonna come out 2026. I don't know if they said early or late, but it was one of those things where it's like why is Forza Horizon, yeah, just a 2026 for Forza Horizon, but it's like, oh, Horizon 6 and Fable are coming out for the same year from the same devs. um like, not that that's a problem, but it is kind of feels like Fable kept getting pushed back further and further to the point where it's like now they're releasing their product at the same time,
Right.
rather than it felt like okay between Forza 5, Horizon 5 and Horizon 6 they had this cool new Fable game, and now it's like no, everything just kind of gets pushed back to
Did we ever get details on why Fable was getting pushed back?
no, no.
So I wonder if it's having like major problems or they just don't know when is a good time to release it.
I would have to say like I mean it's a very very good looking game graphically speaking, um, but I have
So
to
maybe
just
it's
imagine.
just having some problems.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Unreal 5, I think, and
Unreal 5's having good amount of problems. Although
I
I
think.
actually, speaking of good amount of problems, did you see that Ghost of Yote is like 60 on everything? Runs at 60 frames on everything. Like it's just hyper optimized.
Oh, does it? I didn't
Yeah.
actually see that. It does. It
Apparently,
definitely didn't run at 60 in the footage they've been showing.
yeah, apparently it's hyper optimized so that it's going to run 60 at everything now.
Does it run 60 on a vanilla?
Well, yes, that's what they're saying.
Because
I don't know if it,
they've never officially said what PS5 Pro features are. They had a whole features trailer that didn't even mention the PS5 Pro. Um,
well, this didn't mention it. It was just more of like it runs.
I'll go correct myself here. Apparently, Fable runs on Forza Tech, um, the Forza Tech engine,
Oh,
not Unreal. Which good. That's probably why it does look so good.
okay,
I
but
would.
Forza Tech's a racing engine, isn't it?
Well, I mean, they made a big old ass open world game like 6 times now with it. So, I mean, yeah, there's probably a ton of stuff they probably had to,
Add for human
yeah, add
animal.
all kinds of stuff. Yeah, but
Does that mean that horse racing controls are going to be crisp? That's I'm actually down with
maybe,
that. That's kind of sick. You're in like a
yeah,
carriage. You're doing like horse racing where you're in one of those little carriages with two wheels behind the, you know what I'm talking about? You ever seen
yeah.
that?
Mhm.
Buggy racing or whatever?
Hell yeah. Get some
Hell yeah.
Ben Hur shit in here.
You get around.
But yeah, Forza Tech Engine, good for them. Not Unreal. There's actually hope for this game. Um,
Well,
but
I mean, there's so much promise with Unreal 5 too, so eventually it's going to be great, but like right now
yeah,
it
when
seems like
Unreal 6 comes
everything's
out, then it'll be great.
aren't there a bunch of people still building things on like Unreal 3 too?
Probably. 3 is
3 and 4,
completely
but
abandonware at this point, but yeah.
3 and 4 just everyone.
I mean, a lot people still use 4. 4 is actually still used in games. There's that crazy game. I forget what it's called. The one with the time traveling game where you go back to medieval times. I forget what
Oh,
Irish battle it was, and you just come back with like cars and machine guns and stuff. And the guy was like, he had this whole thing where it's like, yeah, I had it on the latest Unreal 5, and then we tried to go with an earlier version of Unreal 5, and we decided to go with Unreal 4. In his presentation of the game, he talked about how Unreal 4 was just a better optimized engine for what they wanted to do.
well, because it's older too, though. I mean, think about how much time it's had to. How long was Unreal 4 used anyway? I know Unreal 3 seemed
I
like it was around
mean,
forever.
pretty much end of PS3 to all the way into now. So
Yeah,
it's a
so
good
it's been
long
around a
time.
while.
Yeah, it's
Unreal
been.
3 before it was around forever, though, right? Wasn't
Yeah,
Unreal
Unreal
3?
3 was definitely around for a while. Definitely.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know if they show. I know they showed some stuff from like Gears, but I don't know how much new stuff they showed from Gears. Speaking of,
They didn't show anything at the TGS presentation.
there was talk
Um,
of it, right? Because
I
all I
don't
saw
know.
was an angry thing from Cliff Bleszinski, an angry tweet about how people
Oh,
got to remember that he no longer works on it. Hasn't in 10 years
really?
or
I don't know.
something.
They didn't. To my knowledge, nothing was shown at TGS for Gears. To my knowledge,
Oh well, I the
that could just be Cliff, just being angry over nothing.
yeah, he definitely has that vibe, right? Like is that's not how he always was. He was like chill back in the day when I was a young man.
I mean, I think a lot of it probably has to do with the fact that he made all these big franchises, tried to strike it out on his own with Boss Key Games, and didn't go well.
That's
Nobody played
fair.
Lawbreakers. Nobody played Radical Heights. Um,
I didn't even
I mean, it's
remember
got
what
to
it was.
sting still.
I 100% imagine it does. And honestly, I actually sort of wish I wish he would have had success with that. I want more independent, large scale creators.
I had heard that Lawbreakers was actually pretty good, but it just had no player base. It just concorded itself. Um,
I
which
mean, I couldn't, I played a little bit of it, a little bit meaning like 30 minutes of it. But nobody that we knew was interested in playing it. And I
yeah,
don't really know exactly
just
why.
one of those things there though. But yeah, I mean, hmm, it's just kind of one of those like, well, I don't know. A lot of those classic designers, John Romero, Cliff Bleszinski, I just I don't know.
Fell off.
I don't know if they really fell off. Part of me wonders if, like, well, you made so much money. I would hope you're fine. You know,
Oh, I'm sure he
retiring
is. Yeah.
early or whatever. But like, I don't know. Multiplayer gaming is very much a sort of fast moving industry. Like, what is truly what is in does not mean it will always be that way. Like the type of multiplayer that is dominating. Like
Yeah.
there are some zombies. Call of Duty has been around forever at this point, and Fortnite has been around forever at this point. But Fortnite itself is an ever changing game. I mean, even Cliff Bleszinski started it. So I mean, Fortnite has gone through many, many, many evolutions and revolutions and changes and additions, and mostly additions. Um, Call of Duty had that sort of like every year there was a new game, so it was kind of like I think for a while, kind of just every few generations, it's just getting a new group of kids into Call of Duty as they get old enough to play it. Um, but I think even kids are falling off of Call of Duty now, and then Call of Duty always seems to have some sort of burnout level.
Yeah.
Um, you play Call of Duty in your 20s, you burn out by your 30s or something or whatever to some extent. So um but yeah, like I think multiplayer gaming, like it's funny to think about what is like something like you go 10 years ago, what was the most popular multiplayer gaming thing in 2015? And it probably is that this is before BRs really took off, right? So something completely different, right? Uh, GoldenEye used to be considered peak multiplayer gaming.
Yeah.
Halo, one was considered peak multiplayer
Halo
gaming.
2, really, for a long time, Halo 2 was like peak. Then you had Call of Duty 4 that came in.
You had a lot of different types of games. Guitar Hero and Rock
Huge. Yeah.
Band were kind of like the epicenter of social gaming for a long time, and then they just died. Toys to Life was a big concept for a while. There were four of them. There was Nintendo, Lego, Disney
Yeah.
Infinity, and Skylanders. For a while, and then that died very quickly. Like things kind of move at a rapid pace in multiplayer game design, and I think it's kind of one of those things where people like who worked at id and in Epic in the 90s, I don't know if they really fell off, but it's like they were geniuses for making what they made at the time they made them. But
They didn't pivot well.
well, and maybe they don't need to. Maybe it's fine not to. Maybe it's like,
Well,
go
are
out
we
and get famous, make your money, and then just kind of be happy with that. Like you don't need to. It's like, hey, I created this cool thing. I don't need to be like, does the same person have to be creating? It's not like one person has to sit there and constantly be recreating, the next multiplayer experience over and over and over again. And most, if not all the times, I feel multiplayer experiences are organic. Like
Yeah.
people just kind of find them, gravitate towards them, and they blow up. Among Us, and Lethal Company and whatever. Like these are just things that
Helldivers?
just sort of just Helldivers. It's Helldivers 2. I mean, people didn't play Helldivers 1. People hardly even know it exists. They
Yeah,
only know it
right.
exists
Helldivers
because it's
2, yeah.
called 2. But
Um, yeah, well, I mean, are we entering a stagnant age because everyone's sticking to what they've been playing for 10 friggin' years, Fortnite and
well, there is, I think, a little bit of that because the
Minecraft
forever
and
game is
stuff?
that you've invested so much money into Fortnite, why would you stop playing Fortnite? And in reality there's really no good reason to stop playing Fortnite. You shouldn't. Like, and Fortnite is an ever evolving, ever changing game too. It's not like Fortnite is the same thing over and over.
Right, but it is sort of strangling that new, people don't try a new thing
It's
necessarily.
strangling games that want you to invest all your fucking time and money and hours into it. In fact, I think it's a good thing if people flat out reject a game that's like, here's our battle pass, here, level up your character in our new multiplayer, or fuck you, I already have my time sink game. How
Right.
about a multiplayer game where I don't have to worry about levels and battle passes and having a bunch of things? And
Among
did
Us.
I grind to unlock this and unlock that? And I'm like, why do you think Among Us and Peak, and Lethal Company did so well? Because they were cheap and nobody had to fucking buy a battle pass. Nobody had to invest hours. All you had to do
All
was
you had to do.
learn, all you had to do was learn the mechanics, learn how the game functions, and you're fine. That's
Yeah,
all it
no,
required. All it required you was to learn how the game works. How do the
I
controls work? This is how the controls work. This is what you do. Fucking go.
there's a game that's been around for a while that I just got because a friend of mine asked me to play with them, and it's called 7 Days to Die, and it's nowhere near the same game that it was when it first came out, and I don't even know how old it is. But we were playing it and having fun, and they had played it for I don't know, a year or something before they finally convinced me to play it. So they're super high level. And I was like, okay, well, how do I do this thing? I want to just like build a thing. And we're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta level up, and then you gotta. And he started describing all the grinding that I have to do to get to this thing to just be able to build a fucking treehouse. And I was like, you know what? Nah, nah,
No.
I'm good. I'm good. It's the same reason that I fell off of Ark. I played Ark Survival Evolved for a year or two with my brother, and we had like built up all this stuff, and then one night when we were logged off, somebody came and just like knocked it all down, stole everything we had. My brother's like, "Well, we just rebuild." And I was like, "No,
No,
no,
we don't.
no. This isn't my job. I'm not. I'm not doing all that again. No, no, thank you."
Yeah.
Um, and the thing is, I don't even really have a time suck. I mean, I have a lot of like time suck hobbies that they take a lot of time, but like I don't have any one particular game that eats my life the way any other like Call of Duty used to, for instance, or some people their MMO eats their life or
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Uh, or if you're 10, Minecraft eats your life when you're 10.
Or Roblox.
Or Roblox. Yeah, both those games. Man, the shit that's coming out about like the chat rooms based around those games, by the way.
Oh yeah, because there's absolutely zero moderation.
Insane. Some of the stuff that I've seen coming out of that is worse than 4chan, and that feels difficult to do. Uh, um,
Well, there's a really dark reason for that.
well, it's because that's all the same people.
No, it's because what is Roblox made and marketed to, and what audience did it capture right away?
Fair. Yeah. Um,
I mean, it's oh man, I was about to make the most awful Catholic joke in my life, and you know what? I will refrain.
it's just not fair. The Catholics don't deserve it. Okay. We're
Mm,
fine people.
I think all the native species of the Caribbean and South America and Central America might disagree with that a little bit, but
How dare you? How dare you? Catholic priests were genteel. Genteel genocide. Jesus Christ. Okay. Getting back
we're,
to video games.
we're only awful on days that ended in Y.
Joke's on you. Spanish names for days often don't end in Y. So suck it. I'm trying to think of like, was there anything that truly for TGS this year? Was there anything that like unexpectedly blew your friggin' mind?
I think the biggest surprise, and it's not a big surprise on its own, was like there's a new Gungrave coming out. Holy
Oh
shit,
yeah,
Gungrave's
yeah,
alive. That's cool.
yeah. I mean, how many years has it been since a Gungrave
There
was
was
new.
one that came out, I think, not too long ago on Xbox One, PS4. I want to say,
That's
but like,
still more than 10 years.
it's been a while. It's been a hot minute. It's definitely
Yeah,
been a hot minute. But yeah, a new Gungrave. That's pretty cool.
I don't know why I'm thinking like 2014. Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, it's been a while since there's.
Yeah, Gungrave coming back. Pretty neat. Not gonna blow any dicks off, but it's pretty neat.
But it was fun. The first one was in 2002. Damn, I am old. It hits you sometimes, you know. 2004 was Gungrave Overdose.
Yeah, OD, yeah.
Oh, 2017 Gungrave VR. And then they did another Gungrave series. So they did a Gungrave series revive in 2017, a Korean developer. And then they released also Gungrave VR in late 2017, 2018.
Sure.
Ah. Oh, okay. In 2022, there was a Gunslinger of Resurrection, Gungrave Gore.
I don't know. I'm sure if I know which one that is. I might have missed that one entirely.
That was on PS4, PS5, yeah, Windows and Xbox.
There you go.
And on Switch. So I guess it's been alive and kicking for some time.
Yeah, there was also, I guess,
love a third-person shooter.
There was a fun little game, a little looked like an indie kind of deal. At Sony, Chrono Script was it? I'm trying to remember the name of it. Chrono Script, the Endless End. Cool little like indie kind of like running through the illustrations of a page thing by Shueisha Games, which is weird because Shueisha has more money than God. So the fact that they have a game division now apparently, and their first game is very indie coded almost. It's neat, but it's also kind of like almost strange to me that they're kind of doing the Netflix approach where like Netflix games are kind of like, they're not massive high budget AAA. They're kind of like, let's do some 2D mobile stuff.
They're like dipping the toe in.
Dipping the toe. A little dip in the toe, but it looked nice.
Me and dozens of people like me are excited for Final Fantasy Tactics.
Tic Tacs. I mean, I would be, except it's $50, man. $50 for a game that is, yeah, man. I don't know. That's not $50.
I don't know. If I recall correctly, it's a pretty long game.
It is. It's a good game. It's a good game. It's coming out at the same price it came out 30 years ago. So,
isn't that good with all the inflation
for
that's
a
happened?
Remaster? No, it's not.
30 years of inflation?
That's a dumb argument. No, it's not good. Bro, I can buy Cyberpunk for $20.99 right now on Steam. No, it's not a good price.
Yeah, for Cyberpunk, absolutely not. Kidding.
Dang.
I'm kidding. It is actually quite better, like a lot better than when it was.
I bought all of Witcher 3 and its DLC for $20. So no, it's not a good price.
Yeah, but this is Final Fantasy. It's the Final Fantasy.
I would be excited for Tic Tacs, but $50 is just too much for
rough.
a remaster. It's not, because it's
well,
not. It's
given
not
that
even
Square's having such problems, it'll probably go on sale.
I mean, I think Square's having problems is the reason why it's launching at 50.
Well, I mean that, and probably tariffs, and again, everything has gone up. In the last 5 years alone, everything's gone way up.
It's just too much, man. I'm sorry. It's just too much. I like the game. And maybe if it's your first time playing the game, this 50 doesn't seem so bad. Like, you're going to get a great experience at 50.
Especially if you're going to play it on the portal while you're pooping.
Exactly.
Everybody who loves the Final Fantasy Tactics games, or like Ogre Tactics, which I love even more.
It is the same developers.
That's a pooping game. That's prime pooping game.
Prime movie. Yeah, this is from the Tactics Ogre people. They made the first Final Fantasy Tic Tacs. So it's a great game, but like for someone who's definitely played it before,
it's been long enough for me that it would feel like a new game.
It probably would.
I don't think I've played it because didn't they do a re-release of it on one of the advances?
No, they did a sequel.
They did a
They
sequel.
did 2 sequels. There's Final Fantasy Tactics Advance and Final Fantasy Tactics A2.
Right. And they
They're
did
not
they
the
did a re-release of Tactics Ogre
Yes, they
on
did a Tactics
Advance.
Ogre
Yeah, I
on
played.
Advance.
Yeah, loved that game. God.
Very good game. Ghost of Yote had its early reviews come out. Well, they sent the review codes out super early, so officially anyone can release the score. It's actually on average much higher than the first game. For Yote.
That's cool.
87 and Metacritic, 89 OpenCritic, 100% positive. But yeah, like there's a couple British people. One dude gave it a 6, and like a couple British people gave it a 7. But what do they know? I don't know. They're
Not
I don't know.
enough
They're
tea. No, I'm kidding.
they're probably some
Don't
chuds
come for me.
reviewing it or whatever. But no, apparently the story's great. They're like the story's much better than the first game. They actually
Interesting.
they say the story and pacing is much better than the first game. Erika Ishii's character is more interesting. They like her. They like her storyline. They like the revenge tale. They think it's better than the first one. Which first one I don't think was bad by any means, shape, or form. It was just sort of like, yeah, okay. The most
Just
interesting
straightforward,
thing,
sort of plain. It was,
yeah, I
I
mean,
don't
the
know.
most interesting thing about part one to me was the fact that it was based on a major historical
event. Yeah.
event. Where this
Yeah.
is not. This is not based on a historical event. This is like a completely like, hey, here's Hokkaido in 1600. Where the first game was like the first Mongol invasion, and the only thing that was really interesting was like they kind of went in and showed like a very historically inaccurate version of the Mongol invasion. Um, I say that because one, the boats that the Mongols used to come over it was not some big organized fleet like you saw in that game. And some of their technology, not technology, but like some of the things, weapons, stuff were too early. Like that's not what they had in the 1100s. But I liked it. I liked the fact that I liked how like it was like some nephew or grandnephew of Genghis Khan was the one leading this invasion, and I liked he has a great speech. I think he says to the uncle near the beginning of the game, and he's like, while you were here doing whatever, I was learning your language, was talking to your people, I was learning your customs. And he's basically telling them like why you lost. He's like, while you you set up and like raised your flags and did all your like noble, like I was learning your language. I was learning how I was learning your people. I was learning your stuff. This is why you lost, because I'm thorough, and you're too stuck in your old ways. Like my favorite part of that game at the beginning is when I think it's your dad. He's captured and he's like yelling at them, the Mongols, and like the main bad guy comes in and I think they release him or whatever, and he's thinking, okay, we're gonna have an honorable duel, and he just like throws a bunch of oil on him and just grabs a torch and like he just
Like, come on.
torches him. He's just like whatever.
Oof.
Like there's this part
Forgot
where
about that.
there's this actually somewhat historic, not necessarily for the Mongol invasion, but there's this historical relevance of like why did like why did the samurai die out? I'm like because they're actually really terrible at dealing with combat from invading countries, because they thought people were going to come out and do the honorable thing. Like, no,
Well,
there's bits and pieces of history like this where like, yeah, why did the samurai armor change? Why did it used to be like this and not like that? They changed because they thought people were going to have these noble duels, and someone just was like, no, I'm just going to put an arrow right in his face right away, kind of thing. So
I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not going to pretend that I have read a ton of history or Japanese history, but like people like Bushido, for instance, was invented as a part of the nationalist movement. Like samurai were much more flexible than people realize. It's just that they had distinct rules of warfare
yeah,
that they were
and
inflexible
people
about,
in
which
invading
made
have
them
just
predictable.
yeah, and invading has just ignored it, and we're just like whatever. It was a little
But they
bit
were
like
really good at war.
it's a little like kind of some early guerrilla stuff that happened in the Revolutionary War, where like the British were like marching, in marching lines in red coats or whatever, and then you had just a bunch of people in brown dirty clothes, just like you know shooting them from the side or just like killing them like as they're marching through the woods or whatever. We didn't win that much. We actually didn't win too much in the Revolutionary War. That's something you might actually learn in
Yeah,
real
we
history.
mostly the reason why Washington was a brilliant general is he was amazing at ordered retreats.
Yeah. So
And if you don't understand why that won the war, then you should read more about war,
yeah. Well, that's the
especially at
thing
the
is like
time.
I've actually blown some people's minds with this, and I'm like, okay, like guys, we should not have won the Revolutionary War. Like if England had put its actual effort into it, we would have lost very easily.
There's well, they did put effort, but they didn't have the money to fight us
They didn't have the money. They
at
were
full
broke.
strength.
They were broke, and they were basically like, "You're gonna die anyways. Like, forget it. Fine."
If you really want to have like a subversive opinion on the Revolutionary War, if you really want to have like a one, it was our first civil war technically because
Yes,
there was a lot
because
of American
there
loyalists
were
that were fighting
loyalists. There were loyalists versus other colonists. It was a big deal.
and bitter. But there are two men most directly responsible, if you're going to say like anyone was a linchpin for us winning the Revolutionary War, and one is Benedict Arnold,
Yep. I
even
was
though
gonna
he
say,
is
are you gonna
considered a
bring up
traitor.
Benedict Arnold? Yeah,
Benedict
yeah,
Arnold, and the other is Thomas Paine, and both of them were hated by Congress and by the Patriot movement, which is Jefferson, Franklin,
yeah,
Washington. Those guys hated both of them. One of the reasons Benedict Arnold turned coat was that he was constantly paying his men out of his own pocket and basically beggaring himself
yeah.
because Congress would purposely slow roll pay to his men just to screw him because they considered him like an upstart. They didn't like his politics, they didn't like his family. I mean, it was just like he kept getting screwed by them and he kept delivering like outsized wins. He was in combat far and away the best general that we had. Thomas Paine was a full blown actual revolutionary. So one of the things that you have to realize about our revolution is it wasn't very revolutionary. Nobody wanted to overthrow the order
No.
of the day. They wanted their own bent on it. Thomas Paine was a straight up fucking revolutionary. So much so that he got disillusioned with how weak the American Revolution was, went to France and joined their revolution, was like, this is where it's at. And he helped write the Rights of Man. And he was also one of the earliest abolitionists. He in the Rights of Man, he says no man has a right what is it? No man has a right to own man, or so I'm forgetting the turn of phrase. It's a much better turn of phrase, but in it he argues about the first pension fund or universal basic income. Essentially,
Mhm.
he basically says like, okay, if you've built a ton of value based on your hands and your land, that's great, but if the value that you've built is dependent on society, then society should get a cut to put money back towards the people that were required to,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
essentially arguing for a national pension based on, people. Oh, you built a wonderful merchant consortium, that's great, but it took thousands of people to do it with you, so you should pay essentially corporate taxes is what he was talking about. Yeah, so he wasn't very popular, but if you ever want to have like an interesting opinion on the Revolutionary War, because I don't know how many times you're going to bring this up at parties or some shit, but there's always somebody who brings up like history and shit, gives you an interesting opinion. You can have like a point of view that not a lot of people who even read about this shit will have that point of view.
Right, yeah. But yeah, that's why I liked Ghost One was I did like some of the kind of twist. Now, the other part I didn't like about Ghost One was the romanticization of samurai lords, where it's like,
Well, yeah,
this
but
is.
what else are they going to do?
I was like, there's not the thing is, it's not a game or a setting that works for that nuance. It's really not the time or place for it, especially because they're trying to tell an invasion story and getting into the nuance of like samurai lords and serfdom is like, okay, well, not the time or place for it. So I get that, which actually is what I think makes Yote kind of interesting because it is, they're going in this sort of Wild West thing where, okay, the Edo period, like they didn't have full control of Hokkaido at that time period. It was mostly the feudal states was in what is like more mainland Japan. which is interesting. I was just playing Kiwami 3, and in Okinawa, they the people, the Ryukyu Islanders, the Okinawans, they're calling Kiryu, go back to the mainland, and I'm like, Japan's an island too. What? But it's like, you think about it, and it's like, yeah, like the central chunk of Japan, like where Kyoto and Tokyo is, like it's mainland Japan, quote unquote.
And it's quite a bit bigger.
Yes, obviously, yeah, that too. But Hokkaido's huge too. So, yeah, like I don't know. It's exciting in anyways. They're saying like the combat's good, it's better. They say there's way better rewards. The open world is like really good about rewarding you for going around it this time. I'm like, good, all good.
Well, on that note, we've got patrons to thank. Strong ending today. If you're interested in becoming a patron at any level, please check out patreon.com/YoVideogames podcast. Dude of the week was Josh. Thank you, Josh. And our producers for this episode are Dragon Wolf Makoto, Austenite, Donglemeister, Cybernite, Scronami, Croyd35, LCL Mayhem, and Ziggy Z. Thank you, dudes. We'll catch you next time.
Later, dudes.